A fearful slaughter. Well, I was really hoping to take Washington would show up today, but that plan did not materialize, so I'm going to play a little scenario out of a fearful slaughter. I don't really want to put anything else out on the table, because I assume to take Washington should be here Monday or Tuesday then. Kind of depressing. But we are going to play 6.1 Stuart's Brigade. This is a very small scenario, probably the smallest scenario I've seen in Line of Battle. I think there's a really small one in None But Heroes too. Basically 1 Union brigade, so 3 bigger regiments. I think this guy is decent size. Yeah. Whoa. That's why you use tweezers. And pretty much 1 brigade for the Confederates, so these guys right here. Pretty straightforward scenario. I'm gonna be going as the Confederate player. I need to move north basically and take Larkin Bell Field, which is up here. I've got these pieces of paper kind of where the playing area is going to be at. I think you get points for wrecked regiments and wrecked brigades, but ultimately they want to go push them out and take Larkin's Bell Field. If we look at these guys, I think they've taken some casualties already to start with. Yeah, so he's... Now what we're doing here is we're taking an RSS game and we're going to be porting it into the Line of Battle rules. So I think in the scenario specifics it says some of those guys are stragglers, but obviously we're going to ignore that because Line of Battle does not have stragglers per se as a rule. They're kind of caked into these L results on the morale table. If you take morale checks and you fail really bad, it's kind of a neat way of showing that stragglers are leaving without actually taking combat losses due to fire. Okay. So a couple other things. When you're converting RSS to LOB, there's always some terrain things. That's usually, in my opinion, the most difficult thing to get your head grasped around because you're so used to just playing with Line of Battle. So all these woods are actually going to cost me 2 movement points. One thing that really annoys me with RSS is the slope lines. It costs movement points to go up the slope lines. So from 54.15 up to 55.16, I would assume is going to cost an additional 1 because you've got a slope line in 55.16. It's just annoying, and I like, okay, if I'm in 54.15, am I going to have to pay +2 to go up into 54.16, or am I considered to be on the highest terrain in the hex, like Line of Battle rules? We'll just kind of wing it and do what feels right. These guys start off with some swamps in front of them. All of these hexes right here are swamps. So I think when I leave those hexes, I have to roll a 1d6, and if it's a 5 or a 6, then they stop and they can't move for the rest of the movement phase. So they could potentially get stuck in those hexes, which would be no fun. I guess that's obviously what the Union player is hoping happens. So the situation, I think these guys, this brigade is actually part of Sherman's command, which I think it was supposed to be somewhere over there. They were, and for some reason these guys got detached to kind of hold this flank right up against the Tennessee River, which is right there. So let's go ahead and start. It's just a 7-turn little scenario. I'll try not to be too shaky here, but we can see what happens. So we are to the Confederate Activity Phase. Let's see here, pull this over. So nothing in the command phase. We're going to have nothing really in the command phase at all. There's going to be no chance for stoppage because based on the Line of battle rules for fluke stoppage. Every scenario has an 8-turn grace period, and we're only going 7 turns, so really the command phase is going to be, this is a very straightforward scenario, nothing. So we're basically going to go activity phase, rally phase, activity phase, rally phase. Let's get this back to where it needs to be. I think there. East of 46, so right there. All right. So Confederate activity phase, let's go ahead and start moving here. So this guy, these runs don't cost anything. Swamps cost 2, so we go 1, 2. I'm going to attempt to leave and move into this hex, so I got to roll a 1d6 to see if I get bogged down, and he can't move. So he's done. Let's move the 5th Mississippi. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the slope line. I can't use these roads because I'm in line formation, so I have to pay for the inherent terrain. I don't know whether I should just leave this guy alone and force him to come back and defend over here, because if he stays there, he's not going to accomplish anything, so I might just ignore him as the Confederate side. Chalmers, and I'm using Chalmers with the 52nd Tennessee because they are super crappers with the E morale rating, so hopefully anytime they have to take a morale check, Chalmers is going to drop them down. I mean, even a 7 for an E can be catastrophic. That's a DGB3L1, but with the -4 modifier, 1, 2, 3, 4, it makes them a little bit better. So they're going to move forward into the swamp, which costs 2, and then they're going to attempt to move out into there. So here's our 1d6. Nope, they cannot move either. This is going well. These guys will go. So the way I'm going to interpret this is this slope line right here. I'm already on the terrain. Well, I guess it does go up into that other terrain there, so I guess I'll pay for it. So 3, 4, 5, 6 into there. Now Girardi is limbered right now, so I can move him. For now, we'll just let him trail. I think he's going to be pretty worthless this game. All right, so there's the Confederate activity phase. Over to the Union activity phase. I have no Confederate rallies or anything to do like that. So they are under orders. If we look over here, the 2-5T is to defend the Larkin Field and prevent a Confederate advance up the Hamburg Road. So I think this has got to be the Hamburg Road. But I don't see any, doesn't tell me that that's the Hamburg Road unless I'm blind, but we'll make the assumption. All right, so the 54th Ohio, I think, is going to be falling back. So they're going to go 1 to turn, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're just going to get up into the baffles of this attack. These guys, do I want to press forward a little bit? What do they say? The best defense is a good offense. Now, this would be an instance of, okay, well, what are their orders? Their orders are to defend Larkin Bell's Field. In my analysis of that order, I think it would be legal for me to move a couple hexes out of the field. I'm not going to defend the field by being standing in the center of it. So let's bring Stuart out. That guy's got a decent morale. It's sad when I've been playing games that when I see a C-rated morale, I think it's decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's going to stop. This guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's going to stop. All right. So that was the Union activity phase. We're done. We go to the Confederate. Let's see, that was 11:30. So then we're gonna go to 11:45. Nothing in the command phase, over to the activity phase. So let's get these guys doing something here. So the 5th Mississippi is gonna be able to close for free because these woods are gonna be intervening and they can't see each other. So let's go 1, 2, 3 for the slope line. I don't think it's gonna do me any good to charge into there because he's bigger. Yeah. There's no point in doing that. So we're just gonna stop and pop, as I like to say. So the 5th Mississippi use 3 movement points to move, and they're gonna use their remaining activity to make a fire action. So the 54th Ohio will get an opening volley. They're gonna need a 4 or better. So they do achieve opening volley. Now, because I'm the attacker, I don't have to take a morale check, but I do take the hit. So instead of bringing 8, I'm bringing 7. That's gonna put me on the 6 to 8 column. 2d6. A 4 and a 6 is a 10. On the 6 to 8, I believe that's a 2. Yep. So the old 54th Ohio is going to take 2 hits. And they make a morale check, a C morale. No modifiers, I don't think. Let's see here. Does he have a slope line? Nope. So no modifiers. C morale. So a 1 and a 3 is a 4 on a C. Oh, he's beautiful. So let's get the 7th Mississippi moving here. So that went well there. Let's go 1, 2, 3 for the slope line, 4, 5, 6 for the slope line. Chalmers. He's got the crappy E guy. He's in a swamp, so he's going to have to roll to see if he can even move out of the swamp. He can. 5 or 6, and he can't. So he's going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's 2 slope lines in there. And then he's going to have to stop. Oh, that was scary. That's actually my little Roku thingy over there. Or not Roku, my wireless speaker. I just bought a Roku. Because I'm cheap and I didn't want to pay for cable. That's extortion. If you have Comcast, you're being extorted. We also have a Bloody Mary. Earlier today, I made a video about line of sight for line of battle as well, so you might see that go up. Those things take forever to mix down for some reason. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I need to figure out a better way to do it. It takes, last time I uploaded a video, it took my YouTube account like 2 days to upload the video. So if anybody knows anything about compressing those videos into smaller file sizes, please fill me in. All right, so this guy's gonna go 1, 2, 3 for the slope line. So he could go, is he in a swamp? No, oh yes. So I'd have to roll for him. And he's not able to do that. Let's see if the D guy can. The 9th Mississippi. So he could go. But the 10th has to stay there. So then he'll use his last 3 to move into there. All right. So now that's Confederate activity phase. We're done. We go to the Union or the Confederate rally phase, I have no rallies. The Union activity phase, because I have nothing to do in the command phase. So the 54th Ohio, he's in a predicament potentially over here. Now, this is a situation where I could rotate him and fire because I'm concerned that the 7th Mississippi is going to be able to get behind him and take a rear shot. If I do that, I'm going to open myself up to an opening volley, which is basically a 50% chance of taking a shot. I think in this situation, it's the right thing to do because I can't disengage. We're locked because our zone of controls have each other locked in place. This 7th Mississippi's easily going to be able to move up there and take a shot, and they're not going to have to take an opening volley. So at least if I turn now and fire, then in future turns, if Chalmers moves here, or if the 7th Mississippi moves here, I'm going to get the opportunity to take an opening volley if they decide to take a fire activity. So he's going to pivot for 1, and then he's going to fire at the 5th Mississippi. The 5th Mississippi is going to get an opening volley. They miss, so a 4 or better is what would have been needed. The 54th Ohio is bringing 7 SP. So 2d6. A 6 is going to be a morale check. The 5th Mississippi is a D, so this could hurt. D guys are not extremely good, especially when you roll 9s. So a 9 on a D. DG B3 L1. Okay, so we want to make sure we do this in order. Just get in the habit of doing it in the way it's spelled out on the morale table. So DG B3 will go, I'm going to have to go, well, let's go 1, 2, 3. I want to stay out of those swamps. And then we're going to go like this. All right. So I'm actually using the, these are the markers from A Fearful Slaughter 2. I could go get the line of battle markers, but actually I will need to do that because we're going to have Cowardly Legs show up. So let's see if we can go back here and get these. What we want. Oh, I built these, so here's a little something. I have the ability at my job to have access to all this plexi. I make a bunch of custom-sized plexi for all my tables, but I built these and I've got some little rubber nubs on them, so when I'm done, if I need to set this up. I was recently introduced to cats in this house. My girlfriend just moved in with me, so I can place this over top of my game. As long as I don't have huge stacks, I can always put washers on them to prop it up a little bit, but the cats would not be around long if they were messing up games that were set up on the table. So that's version 1 of my idea to keep them from doing bad things. Let's see here. Cowardly Legs, so those will go right there. So anytime, it's not going to come into play now because there's hardly any units, but if this guy had to take a morale check, now he would get the additional +1 for the Cowardly Legs. All right, so back to these guys. I think I'm going to let Stuart hang loose where he's at. I don't want to get locked in combat with these guys here in the center because then I can't extricate, and I don't want to somehow let these guys get around. The whole goal pretty much is Larkin Bell's field. And right now, the Union has the advantage because they own it, so they're going to get 3 VP regardless. But I will take the 71st Ohio, And I want to kind of spread my zone of control, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3 into here. And then we're going to fire at the 9th Mississippi, so he's going to get an opening volley because I moved and fired. 2 is not going to do it. So we're at range 1. We would need a 4 or better. And we're bringing 10, so we're going to be on the 6 to 8 column. No shifts. A 7, that is going to be an SP loss to the 9th Mississippi. So he's going to take his hit, and then he's going to make a morale check. He is a D. I do not believe that there's going to be... Yeah, they're on the same elevation, so there's going to be no modifiers to his morale check. Ooh, wow, that's good for a D. So nothing's going to happen to him. He's good to go, but the Union player is putting some hurt on these guys. All right, so Cowardly Legs, gone. That is going to be the end of the Union activity phase in the 11:45 turn. So we're going to move on to the 12 o'clock turn. Nothing to do in the Confederate command phase. Take a sip of Bloody Mary, I guess. So now we go to the activity phase. Let's see what we got here. Oh, what do we want to do? This poor little guy over here. So one thing you want to keep in mind is once these guys become wrecked, they're pretty much worthless, especially if you're attacking. So a little bit of preservation of force is always a good thing. You don't want to go too haywire. I don't want to go charging in here and get surrounded and get my guys wrecked, because then that totally blows any impetus that the attack had to move forward. But I do think right now there's no way that I'm ever going to be able to stop in my turn and then fire my next turn without incurring opening volleys because of all these woods, unless we get up into the field. So I think we're just going to have to continue these. So I'm going to pivot for 1, and then I'm going to go 2, 3, and we're going to stop and pop into there. So he's going to get opening volley. Oh, he hits. The Union is on with their opening volleys. So he drops down to a 7. So 6 to 8 column, coming at the 54th Ohio. Snakes are not going to be good. That's nothing. Well. So this guy is DG, which means his movement is going to be halved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, I'm still going to be in command range if I move over here. I want to avoid moving through these woods so I can maybe make up some ground. Although, he's still okay. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 into there. Let's see if we can push this guy at all. The 9th Mississippi. He's going to take a 4 to 5 shot into there, straight ahead. Kind of wish I had some muskets with these guys. Oh, that's good. So a 10 on the 4 to 5. I think we're just shy of the 2. Yep, but that is going to be an SP hit. And he's a D, so he's going to have to make a D morale check, which likely is going to be bad. An 8 on a D. DG B3L1. So we're going to go DG B3 1, 2, 3 L1. Gotta switch that out. And that would throw down Cowardlies. That worked well. Okay. Let's see if the 10th Mississippi can get out of this swamp. So he's going to roll first to see if he even can. He can. So then he's going to go 1, 2, 3. I guess he'll hop in there with the 9th Mississippi. And Mr. Chalmers. Oh, so does this count? I see a little bit of swamp in that hex. That is one thing. The RSS rules, the converting them into line of battle is pretty seamless, but the maps and the movement and some of those things, those are the little things that kind of annoy me. Obviously, this game was not made for line of battle. It's perfectly functionable, but you just have to... I mean, I'm going to say that he's not in the swamp, especially because I would be considered to be on the higher terrain in line of battle. So I'm not going to say that he's got a rule for that. So let's take this and let's go... What do we want to do? We could move here for 3 and fire, but he's going to get opening volley, or this would cost us 4. Let's do that. Let's go here, take an opening volley with the 54th Ohio. So if he hits, he has a chance to potentially kill or wound Chalmers. So he hits. So we're going to have to make that roll. But the reason I'm doing this is because I want to close in and at least get a shot on this guy, maybe force him to retreat back on a morale check if I can hit, because I'm an E morale, so I don't want to have to... I'm not going to take a morale check this turn, so I might as well do it. So here's to see if Chalmers gets hit. So he's going to need to roll an 11 or a 12 to do anything. A 3 and... 9, nothing. Okay. So now they're going to take their shot. What did he become? A 7? Yeah. So 6 to 8 shot. On a 10, that's going to be a 2. So the 54th Ohio, we are whittling them down. 1 more, and this guy's going to be wrecked. So he probably should have moved back with his guys because he's kind of isolated out there, and I'm messing him up pretty good. So he's got a morale check. He's a C. A 7 on a C. He's going to be okay. I don't think there's any other modifiers. Nope. Okay, so that's the Confederate turn. So now we go to the Union turn. Oh, rally. So the Confederate rally. So this DG is going to become a shaken. There's another little personal gripe of mine about these RSS things. The shaken and the DG are so similar in color. They're super difficult to tell apart. Now I do have... I should have got my little, I have these little chiclet clear acrylic pieces that I can sit on the counters that I like to play with that are see-through, so I can still see the units underneath them. I don't know why I didn't get those. Oh well. All right, so the Union activity phase of the 12 o'clock turn. We're in trouble. This guy could be in trouble. So one thing that I like to do when I'm playing solo too is I'm really tempted to look and see what this guy's strength is because I honestly don't remember. I wasn't really paying attention to it. But typically when you play opposed, you can't look at your opponent's stacks or their SP things underneath them. So you kind of have to just either kind of know what you're doing to them or remember inherently which sections of your line you're pushing or you're beating the opponent up, because right now I'm not going to look through the Confederate stacks as the Union player. But I am going to take a 4 to 5 shot right into here. So a 7 on the 4 to 5, that's going to be a morale check. On a C, he is okay. Stuart. Mr. Stuart. So this guy, I have a bit of a conundrum now, because with 3 regiments to defend this field could be very difficult. We've still got a lot of turns left. I really kind of want to jump up and maybe just, you know what, screw it. Let's have some fun. Stuart is going to hop up. The ultimate goal is going to be to try to charge into Chalmers. So he is going to, can he make it if I do that? Yes, he can. So Stuart's going to go 1, 2, 3 for the slope line. And he is going to attempt to close into Chalmers. So we need to make a closing roll, which I am a C, but I do have Stuart with me, who's a good leader. So I'm going to need a 3 or better. Come on. This could be fun. So I rolled a 4, so we're coming in. So Stuart is bringing them into Chalmers. Chalmers is going to, his stack's going to fire an opening volley. So the 52nd Tennessee is going to fire an opening volley on the charge table. A 4, it's going to cause a loss. So now we're going to have some casualties to deal with here. All right, so let's roll for Stuart to see if he is killed. So Chalmers stack inflicted an SP loss on Stuart's stack, so now we make a roll for the charge. Anything above an 8 is going to kill Stuart. So a 5, he's good to go. My Uncle John gets very upset when we play these because I do stupid things like charge with good leaders and somehow survive it a lot of times. So here's for Chalmers because he's going to take an auto hit for the charge. So now we're going to have to roll to see if Chalmers is killed in receiving the attack. And a 10 is going to kill. No, it's going to wound him. So he's not dead. He would, if we were playing a big like campaign scenario, he would be able to come back the next day if there were night turns. But for all intents and purposes in this scenario, he is gone. Which means that now the Confederates are going to have to roll anytime they need to move. And this is basically 1 brigade, so they're going to have to roll to see if they can even do anything every turn. So this guy, when Chalmers is killed, he's got to be placed on another unit somewhere. He can't be on the same regiment. So now his modifier, even the Repels modifier, is not going to apply to the 52nd Tennessee's morale check. So I'm going to put, ooh, wow. See, now I don't know. Now I'm going to be stretching my lines. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So everybody's still going to be in command range if I put him there. So we'll do that. Now we got to make a morale check with an E. So this is going to end extremely badly. So he's bringing 9 SP. The 52nd Tennessee has 6 SP. So I'm going to be bigger, so that's going to be a +2 to the morale check. Stuart's morale, since he survived, is now going to apply to his morale check. So that's going to be a +4, so we're at net +6. And I believe that's going to be it. So we're at a net +6 on an E. So a 7 + 6 is a 13. This guy is going to disintegrate. So a 13 on an E is an R, B6, L4. So he is going to go like this. R, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at, I'm routing them out of the view here. L4, yeah. This guy is done. I have never played the campaign game for A Fearful Slaughter, Battle of Shiloh. I have played, so he advances now. I have played some of the scenarios that show the attack on the first day with, I believe it's Bragg's Corps, Hardy's Corps, and Polk's Corps, maybe. I think they're all attacking that first day. But you'll notice that there are a lot of those crapper E units. So like this brigade's got a lot of D's. There's a lot of D's. There's a couple E's. E's are atrocious. I don't know if I've ever seen, oh, there's some F's. So I think in this game, the morale, if you're, these are cav units. I want to say if they're mounted, maybe it's this first one. If they're dismounted, it's the other one. It could be the opposite. I don't really remember. But anyways, they're crappy. So those E guys, as we just found out, are extremely fragile. Now that could have easily gone the opposite way. I could have killed Stuart and Chalmers could have still been alive and applied his modifier for morale to the morale check, in which case the outcome might have been a little bit better. But it just depends on who survives those charges. So that was gutsy, but I think that's going to definitely help out the Union player here in the long term. My dog is going crazy outside. Being that it's spring, and I have a woods behind my house, there's a ton of animals out. So this guy, he's DG'd, he's got half movement. He's going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to move him up. So that's going to be all the Union. We're going to go to the Union rally phase. He's going to flip his DG over to Shaken. We're going to take the Cowardlies off. And we are going to go to the Confederate 12-15 turn. And as I'm playing this, if you guys notice that I'm missing rules or something, please post them, because I'm not really doing this as a teaching thing. I just wanted to play a little scenario, but I thought it might be fun to just post it. But if I am, because I do have those videos up where I'm teaching the game, if you notice errors, please point them out to me so that I can maybe edit it and put something up there explaining that. I don't want to steer you guys in the wrong direction. Okay, so we move to the Confederate 12-15 activity phase. We've got a couple more turns left. I have nothing to do in the command phase, obviously. So now, because I'm a 0 leader, I need to roll to see if there's even anything that they can do this turn. And I'm going to turn my heat down. Holy crap. This is what happens when you live in a house from the 60s. You get this cool little janky thing. And it comes through the ceiling, which is even worse. Oh my God, I feel like I'm on the sun. Okay, so here's his leader roll. So a 5, they've got full movement points. So we can keep doing that. We'll be in good shape. So let's start off with the 7 Mississippi. They're going to take a 6 to 8 straight ahead. We need a good result here. An 8, that's going to be a hit. So the subsequent morale check, because he went from a 5 to a 4 and he's a 9, he's now going to be wrecked. So he's going to incur the +3 modifier for being wrecked. On a C, this probably is not going to end well. That I'm going to call that a 6. +4, 10, +3. Uh-oh, a 13 on a C. That's an R, B6, L2. So we're going to go grab one of these bad guys. R, B6, 1, 2, come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's gonna fall back to there. And he had an L2. So he's gonna have 2 left. Lots of routers going on here. Okay, so this shaken guy. Ooh, this is gonna be an opportunity. I really wish I could get in behind Stuart and take a shot there. I don't think I'm gonna have enough movement points to be able to do so. Before I forget, let's yeah, I'm just gonna flip Girardi. He's kind of worthless right there with Stuart blocking the road, but at least he can defend himself if Stuart moves up. So this guy, let's see here, what's this terrain look like? Ooh. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, and because of the way I'm interpreting these rules, should I count that little itty bitty sliver of slope into there? Technically, I think I have to. All right, so he's done. These guys, I probably want to separate them out. It might almost be worth just going to kill off Stuart. Because, ooh. So, guys, I might have just cheated here. So he was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he was out of command range. So he would have to move back into command range before he could do anything. This guy actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is in command range. So he was okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe actually, you know what? I think he is in command range because this guy's zone of controls only were exerted here, so he can trace his 6 hexes behind him. I'm not going to go look it up right now. I should know that offhand, but I'm pretty sure that it's only zone of controls that negate that or can get in the way. So we'll just allow it. It's fun to be able to play a system when you don't need the rules out for the most part. I probably should, because that's something that usually I'm good about keeping my people together, but not in this instance. So let's who's this guy? Oh, he's a big one. But we could knock him back, which would be pretty sweet. So we're going to split our forces here. This guy's going to go 1, 2, 3. And he's going to stop and pop. So we're going to take an opening volley. Missed. And he's got 5 in there, so he's going to take a 4 to 5 shot into that shaken guy. Whoa. So a 3 and a 3. On the 4 to 5 is going to be a morale check. So he is, I believe, a D with a +1 for being shaken. A 7 and 8 on a D. That's going to be something. DG, B3, L1. So he's already shaken. I think he's just going to go to DG, but I will show you where that's at in here. So the additive morale effects chart. So he's currently shaken. He becomes DG. So he's just going to go to DG. So I rolled an 8. DG, B3, okay. I think that goes there. So DG. B3, 1, 2, 3, L1. All right, that worked well. Even though I know these cowardly legs aren't going to come into play because there's nobody adjacent to them, I still do it because it's a good habit to get into. That's very easy to forget to do. When I play with my Uncle John, we have a tendency to do that quite a bit. Okay, so let's do this now. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the slopes. And he'll stop right there. So maybe we can get into the back of Stuart here, but at least I'm moving him a little bit closer to my units over here, which need to stay within command range of him. He's got a 6. So these guys are now going to be in trouble with command range issues because of Stuart. Stuart, I think, is going to be extremely lucky because he's going to be able to run back. But I don't know. I thought things were looking really good for the Union. Maybe not. So now we go to the rally phase. So those come off. Shakens come off. And we get to roll for this routed guy. So a rally roll is going to be a 1d6. If you get a 5 or a 6, they're going to rally. If I had a leader on there, you would apply any morale modifiers to your die roll as a positive. So a 1-1 leader would add a 1 to my die roll. So he's a 4, so there's nothing else that applies, so he does not rally. So we go to the Union turn. This is bad because now I'm going to get surrounded here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, this is real bad. I can't get to where I need to go with this guy. What do I want to do here? It almost might be worth it just to turn and try to charge into this guy, but I don't think I can get there. Oh no, Stuart. And then the question is, do I want to leave? See, this guy's still huge. That was dumb of me. Do I want to leave him here where he could get surrounded and killed off, or do I want to extricate him because he could jump back, he could help this guy on a morale or a rally roll, but he's really not bringing too much to the table. That guy's still in good shape. We need to hold Larkinfield. I think that's going to be the prudent play. So leaders, he's got 12 movement points. What's he got through the woods or forest? Looks like it costs him 2 as well. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he's going to hop on the routed guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? I think this is going to be the smart thing to do. So he's going to go 1. He's going to spend 1 to turn. 2, 3, 4 for the slope line. 5, 6 for the woods into there. Because he can close for free because they can't see. But now he's going to kind of tie that guy up. These guys are, yeah, I think they're going to be able to, well, is that a slope line in there? Damn it. I probably didn't account for that. Oh well, I'm not gonna, heck, there's one there too, right on the corner, but screw it. I'm not, those are minute. Yeah, so that's that. This guy up here, he's got half movement because he's DG'd. He's gonna go 1, 2 into there, I believe. So rally phase, so the DG is going to become a shaken. Stuart is going to apply his 4 modifier to this roll here. Oh, look at, he gets it. So that's another reason to try to keep good leaders around. To be honest, it's kind of rare to get a whole bunch of guys that route. I mean, those are pretty extreme roles that we had with a lot of cumulative modifiers in there. All right, so let's go to the Confederate 1230 turn. Nothing in the command phase. We go to activity phase. This guy's locked up, so we might as well just take our shot with him. 4 to 5. Oh. Yeah. Let's just take the shot now. A 6 is going to be a morale check on a C. Heck, he might almost want to retreat here. A 9 on a C. SHB2L1, that's not atrocious. SHB2, so he's gonna have to go 1, 2. He can choose his facing, and then he's gonna L1, so he's gonna take an 8. Heck, that's probably best case situation for him. Okay, so now the Repel's gonna roll for movement. To see what the brigade can do movement-wise. So another 5, so they're good to go. I guess this guy let's see here. So he's got 7 movement points. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. These guys are gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and he's gonna stop and pop. So opening volley. Ooh, a 6, that's gonna hit him. These Union guys have been on point with their opening volleys. And he's gonna now bring a 4 to 5 valued attack. Wow, nothing. Okay, so they are done. We go to the rally phase. This guy's routed, so he needs to roll. A 3 is not going to do it. We go over to the Union. So this guy is gonna take his shot 6 to 8 straight ahead, no opening volley. 7 is just what he needs. So he's gonna go down to a 3, which means he's now wrecked. So he's gonna add 3 for being wrecked and a +1 for being small because he's got 3 SP. If you have 3 SP or less, you are considered small. So he's at +4. Oh, wow. A 3, so a 7, net 7. He's good to go. Good roll. What do I want to do with this guy? He's kind of holding down this intersection. I don't really want to move him up and lock him up. I'd rather force the Confederate player to move into me so that I can take those opening volleys. If I bring this leader up here too, I'm going to drop Stuart on him. I can kind of secure that line a little bit too. It's going to take this guy a lot of time and effort to try to swing around here, so I don't think he's going to do that. This little guy, I am going to move him up. He'll go 1. And I'd like to move him there, but wrecked guys can never close. So regardless of if they can see or not, they're not allowed to. So I think we're done. Let's go to, hold on, this brings up a question. So this guy's not gonna move. Can I see him? Now, per line of battle rules, definitely, because I'd be able to skirt the line of sight through this part of the hex. When you're playing RSS, these maps were not created with that line of sight situation in mind. We'll just roll a 1d6. On a 4 to 6, he can take the shot. On a 1 to 3, he can't. Yep, so he's taking the shot then. So I think I've got 8 in there. So 8 down to the, so he's going to be on the 6 to 8 down to the 4 to 5 for range. 4, it's not going to matter because he missed anyways. Okay. So Union rally phase, these shakens are going to come off. Oh, sorry about my camera work here. And the DG's going to flip to a shaken. Stuart is going to get his butt back up there. We go to the Confederate 12:45 turn. So they have 2 turns left here. Yep, the last turn is 1 p.m. Dang, there's a lot of crap in the bottom of that. Spicy. All right. So let's take the shot with the 10th Mississippi to start. Crap, did he get wrecked? Yes, he did. So he's only bringing 2 to 3. And that is not going to do it. These guys just, they don't have it in them. I might have screwed up too. Because of that, now that I'm looking at this, that might be a run. That little section, these might be streams. Because we got streams, creeks, runs, rivers. Crap. So the Confederate player probably should have been paying for crossing that, because I'm going to assume that those are streams, which are all +1 modifiers. Oops. Oh well. Lost my train of thought here. Okay, so I need to roll for the Repel to see what movement's going to be for the Brigade. Man, they're good to go. So let's try to do it to it. Ooh, that guy's not in good shape. This guy is okay. So this guy's going to go 1, 2, 3, and he's going to attempt to close. He's going to need something really good because he's a D. He does not. So he's going to fire because he fails at closing. And Stuart is going to direct his stack to take an opening volley. They hit. Oh, that's going to be a painful hit too, because that knocks him off a column. So he was on the 6 to 8, now he's on the 4 to 5. Here's his fire attack. A 7 on the 4 to 5 is just going to be a morale check. Well, it's highly unlikely it does anything because Stuart's in there and he might have just bloodlusted. A C. Nope. Would have needed snakes. Okay. The 7th Mississippi. Yeah, let's do this. He's going to go 1, 2. Actually, so it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is going to attempt to close because Stuart is in the clear. Come on. He fails. And he can't fire because he's spent over half of his movement points. This guy's got 5. We're just gonna have to. This guy's gonna go 1, 2. And I think he's gonna. Let's turn him like this. Yeah, how the heck was he? I have thoughts and then I forget. So this guy was like this, I think. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he's going to attempt to close. Ooh, if my leader gets up there, I could be in big trouble. Probably shouldn't do that. I guess they could maybe go without the leader, but whatever. We'll leave them there. And I guess Gerardi's just going to follow. All right, so that's it. Let's roll for my routed guy. He just refuses to rally. Go to the Union side of the turn. Okay, so we got to throw them back a little bit here. Let's take this guy and let's take a 6 to 8 shot into the 9th Mississippi stack. A 5 on the 6 to 8 is going to be a morale check. So the Repels modifier will apply. So -1, 7 minus 1 is a 6 on a D. It's an SHB1. That could hurt because these other guys are going to have to take morale checks too. And that throws a little cowardly down in there. All right, so this shaken guy, he's going to sit tight. I like him sitting right there. Stuart stack is going to make a 6 to 8 attack on the 7th Mississippi because I want to get that cowardly legs in on it. So 6 to 8. A 6 is going to be just a morale check. So a C, I think this guy's okay with being size-wise. Yeah, so a C with a +1 for the cowardly legs. An 8, a 9 on a C, that's going to be bad. SHB2L1. SH. 1, 2. Ooh. L1. All right. So that's all my unions. We go to the rally phase. Shakens come off. Cowardlies come off the map. We are to the final turn of the game, the 1 p.m. turn. And the Confederate player is just going to start by rolling for their movement because they can't move, so there's no way that they're going to be able to win. I guess we'll take the shots that we can just to see if we can wreck some Union people here. So this guy is going to be bringing a 4 to 5 into Stuart. 5 is going to be nothing. And the 10th Mississippi, I think, has 3 SP in there, so he's on the 2 to 3. An 8 is going to be a morale check on a D unit. Wow, a 4. He's good. So that is going to be the end of the game. I think the Union win here. I could play the Union turn 2 just to see what happens, but the Union are going to get 3 VP for Larkin Field. So, Union, Confederate. And then it's going to be 1 VP per wrecked enemy regiment. So the Confederates have guy's wrecked. 1, 2 wrecked regiments. The Union have, I think, just that one. Yeah, that guy that flubbed his morale check. And 3 VP per wrecked enemy brigade. So the Union Brigade is not wrecked, and the Confederate Brigade, they have 1, 2, 3 infantry units that are still good and only 2 that are wrecked, so there's no way that that brigade is going to be wrecked either. So there's nothing for that. We've got ourselves a 5-1 Union victory. I think there were a couple key roles, one being the charge by Stuart. I don't think I did necessarily the best job as the Confederates. And some of their combat table rules were pretty bad, I think. I had an opportunity, I think, up here to hit that 71st Ohio guy a couple times. If I would have wrecked that regiment, that would have been another point, and I could have wrecked the brigade at that point. And that would have been a total of 4 VP, so it technically would have been a tie game. So that could have made things a lot differently if this little 10th Mississippi guy here would have done a better job straight up on the 71st Ohio. That was maybe the swing battle over there in that section. But there you have it. I like those little small scenarios like that. I think this is a relatively decent one. The terrain can be kind of tricky when you're converting LOB to, or RSS to LOB. There's some other cool scenarios in A Fearful Slaughter too that aren't very big. I like these, like 21 turns. That's not super long. It looks like, you know, you're setting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 brigades. That's a good size battle. Over here, you've got 11 turns. So I've played this one before. This is a good one. You've got a couple Union brigades. You've got, I believe, some of Hardee's Corps maybe coming up. I think that's what the H is. Opening attack. I think that might be another one that I played. They're very similar, I think. So yeah, all of you people that create scenarios for line of battle, make me some small ones. I like these small little scenarios. They're quick, they're easy. I feel like I can get a taste, get it out of my system. I don't have to have it set up for a long time. I think I played that one in about an hour, which is fantastic. And if I was playing it without posting, it probably would have been even quicker. So there you have it. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with myself here for the rest of the day. I've still got like 4 hours of free time. I was planning on playing to take Washington. So maybe I'll go cry, make another Bloody Mary or something. All right, bye.